this defense and that offense with this guy who's playing like the Super Bowl MVP he was and may be again. This is real, man.
I feel good about them Browns. Hey, Browns to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. YouTube gang, what is up? It's above me. I'm your boy, The Cloud. If you are new, welcome. If you've been here before, you already know I'm about to smack you with some good vibes and some positivity. More Browns-related updates and future sports-related updates. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and drop a like on this video as it helps get this video out to more like-minded people like yourself. Playoffs right around the corner. These 7 Browns need to show up.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
David Njoku is the first Cleveland Brown that I think really needs to show up for the Browns in the playoffs. Njoku's having the best season of his career this year, pulling in career-high numbers in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. 81 receptions, 882 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns this season. And if you've been watching the games, you will know that he is the heart and soul of the Browns offense and the Browns team at this point.
I gotta breathe first.
When he gets going, the energy for the team follows suit. The guys rally behind him. They can feel his energy, and he is up and down the sideline like a madman, and he fuels the team with his positivity. The Browns need to use him to create a threat to the middle of the field and keep pressure on whoever they play in the playoffs, and that will help bring energy to the offense and the defense respectively.
Who's that Pokemon?
Obi Akinakro is the next Cleveland Brown that needs to show up in the playoffs. Since his addition to the Cleveland Browns in the offseason, Obi has came in and he has made a great addition to the Browns pass rush that lacked last season. Playing alongside Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett has been a treat for Obi, and he has lived up to the call. Coming off the injury reserve list where he missed the last 4 games of the season due to a pec injury, we're getting his energy and his presence back at a much needed time. He was missing on the Browns defense when we were facing quarterbacks like Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence and those mobile quarterbacks, and his speed and his talent is going to be needed for this Browns defense, and he's going to be a big boost for us in the playoffs.
Who's that Pokemon?
The 3-time Pro Bowler Denzel Ward is the next Cleveland Brown that needs to show up in the playoffs. So coming off of one of his best seasons in coverage, Denzel has made it known that he's a top 5 corner on any given day and arguably the best cornerback in the NFL. He missed some games this season due to concussion and shoulder injury, but when he is on the field, his impact is instantly noticeable. He's the leader of the #1 pass defense in the league, and we're going to need him to shut down big plays and #1 receivers on the other side in the playoffs. I think Denzel is having one of the best seasons in coverage of his career, and I always think he can be an all-pro at that position, and we're going to need him in the playoffs.
Who's that Pokemon?
Myles Garrett, the Cleveland Browns' best player. Of course he needs to show up in the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns' best player and arguably one of the most dominant forces in the league. Of course we're going to need him to show up when the lights are on. This is what you get paid the big bucks for. You can say he's having a quiet season from a statistical standpoint, but that man has been nothing short of amazing this season. I always say this, turn on the tape and see who made the tackle. What did 95 do to help his teammate make that tackle? Whether he filled the hole, took on a double team, got the quarterback to get the ball out quick, forced a cutback lane. Offenses need to find 95, and 95 needs to find the ball. Myles making his impact on the game is going to make the game so much easier for his teammates. His motor has to be on 100.
Who's that Pokemon?
Wyatt Teller is our next Cleveland Brown that needs to show up during the playoffs. One of my favorite picks, Wyatt Teller is going to need to show up for our offensive line in the playoffs. He's an OG. He comes with a lot of veteran experience, Pro Bowl and All Pro, and he comes with a nice mean streak. And we're talking about an offensive line here who is still depleted on the tackles. We're going to need some energy from one of our main hogs to create the line of scrimmage, creating pressure, pushing the defense back, and protecting Joe Flacco. Wyatt Teller is going to have to make some noise for the Browns in the playoffs.
Who's that Pokemon?
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, our strong like warrior linebacker, needs to show up. Easily one of my favorite Browns players to watch this season. He is playing lights out. With career high numbers in all of the defensive statistic categories, 101 tackles this year, 49 solos, 1.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 20 of those tackles being tackles for loss. His energy on this defense is magnificent. Pre-game swag is always on 100, and the Browns are going to need him to get to the point of attack like he does so consistently and help his teammates rally. Defense rallies, we win the ball game.
Who's that Pokemon?
Joe Flacco is the last Cleveland Brown that I think really needs to show up in the playoffs. Joe Flacco has come to Cleveland and he's completely taken over. Throwing for 1,616 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in just 5 games. The Browns are going to need his confidence and veteran leadership going down the stretch. He needs to continue to put pressure on defenses by limiting the turnovers, possessing the ball, and getting the ball to his guys in great spots where only they can make plays. The rest is going to be history. We must keep using the play action to create deep shots and keep using those runs off of those play actions to keep the defenses guessing. Can these guys make an impact for the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs? Leave a comment down below about what y'all think. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment down below on who you think I left off the list that should make an impact for the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. Always remember, never forget, it's above me.